Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wyld. Today we are talking about hidden tips on Doordash. So one of the things on Doordash that everyone knows about to a certain degree and everyone kind of hates the concept of is hidden tips when receiving orders. And while they have gotten better about it, it does not change how frustrating it is to deal with, especially when you're starting out or getting back on after not being on for a while. And I made this video a while back, and since I have been reactivated, I noticed a number of differences from the way the system worked then and how the system works today. So in this video, we are talking about everything you must know about hidden tips on Doordash today, what they tell you versus how it actually is, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain and is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment, educational, and informational purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult with qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we're going to be going over is very market to market and case by case. What applies to me and my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. What Doordash tells you about tips on Doordash. Now, from what I could find on the Doordash help pages, there does not seem to be any direct help page talking about hidden tips or order value will be higher offers, which tracks for Doordash, but also kind of odd, all things considered, especially since the Dasher Rewards program does happen to affect how these orders are presented, but more on that later. They do claim to give Dashers 100% of the tips, however, that may not be 100% true either. I have heard from various restaurant owners and managers, including Jeff Lago from Cam's Pizza in Port St. Lucie, that he has dropped the tip to zero multiple times with the expectation that the driver returns to pick up the tip after they deliver it. And coming from somebody whose companies such as Food Fetched, Fleetly, etc. have been the subject of repeated driver complaints and tip-related concerns regarding EasyCater orders, I personally don't consider that information particularly reliable. There's also ongoing concerns raised by drivers regarding tip transparency on certain EasyCater orders routed through RMDA affiliated companies, but that is a subject for a different day. The point is, I haven't seen much evidence that Doordash has addressed this potential oversight or even clarified its position publicly. Or if they have, it is not available in their help pages where drivers can reference the information directly. How hidden tips work without any Dasher rewards. So when I was getting back onto the platform, I retained my ratings that I had since I was deactivated. However, not all of those ratings they had available within their systems, or they refined it more effectively at the time. So I kind of teeter-tottered back and forth for a while from no rewards to silver. And from what I could tell, it's a bit harder to tell for the most part. If the order has at least $6.25 and at least a 2.25 ratio from the dollars to miles ratio. If the order has at least $6 in value and has at least a 2.25 dollars to mile ratio from the mileage shown on the order screen, there's a good chance for a hidden tip. However, it isn't guaranteed, and since they updated the acceptance modal, the dead giveaways are no longer there, but I'll get to that in a minute. Thankfully, you have about 45 seconds to accept or decline, so you can kind of calculate the ratios on the screen before accepting or declining. Just take the total, divide it by the number of miles, and if the ratio is 2.25 or higher, there's a good chance of a hidden tip. However, with the ratio so wide now, it really only affects the short distance orders for me. One of the hidden tip orders that I received was for $12.25 for 5 miles, or something like that, and it paid 14 and change, which 12.25 is already solid for the standards on this particular platform. Meaning, if an order has a certain amount of distance associated with it, the fact that there was a hidden tip at all really becomes moot. For example, if my general standard for an order is $10 at the very minimum, and if an order comprises of 4.5 miles of driving and still shows $10, it doesn't matter if there's a hidden tip because it would have accepted it anyway. However, that also gives DoorDash an interesting opportunity to keep some of the money in their own pockets while still claiming we give Dashers 100% of the tip. That's not an accusation, by the way. That's not what this is. But in an economy where transparency has been begged for so long, it is no wonder that mindset is where it's rooted from. That said, they did do something that completely destroyed my ability to easily determine whether or not an order had a hidden tip in the first place. No more item count. I'm pretty sure I made a video about this a while back, but DoorDash updated the accept modal a while back, and with the new update came one big missing component. There is no more item count on the order prior to accepting the order. I always knew that, and it was an important indicator, but I didn't realize how crippling it would be to not have it as well. An order that already has 6 items already looks like it would be more valuable compared to an order with only 1, especially since 80% of the earning on DoorDash consists of gratuities. Using that same example, if on a customer's order screen asks a customer to tip and they stick with the defaults, a gratuity for 6 items from Chipotle that they ordered is going to be higher than the gratuity of 1 item, which is why it is so important that we have that information up front. Not only whether or not we want to accept the order, but for the overall order experience. I remember making a video a while back on how Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza reduced the item count on orders so they could pay a smaller 30% order value to DoorDash, and if an item count is higher than a certain amount and the driver can't move it because they don't have the vehicle size to accommodate for it, they would have to unassign. If we don't see the item count ahead of time, especially with orders that require a certain vehicle size and certain types of equipment, I know that DoorDash is kind of up there on the requirement side nowadays, that changes not only the order value, not only for us, but for the platform itself. A driver should not receive pizza orders if they don't have a pizza bag. They shouldn't have catering orders if they don't have catering bags, etc. And that said, I'm sure it was intentional, and without the item count, the value of the plus order within the Dasher reward system is much greater from a surface perspective. Now, to their credit, they do show an item count when they have an item count that is higher, and it forces the bring your catering bag label on the order. But what about orders that don't have that, but have a fair enough tip and a decent enough size to where it would incur a decent tip for the driver under the platform default? That said, I am so sure it was intentional, because without the item count, the value of the plus order within the Dasher reward system is much greater from a surface perspective. Dasher rewards and hidden tips. Once I got a more solid foundation on my ratings, I found myself with a strong standing in the silver status on the platform, which makes sense and came with some tools that helped aid me in determining if an order is a hidden tip offer. The first is their priority access to higher paying orders, which they claim they give you more offers, but I have been just as busy without their reward system as I was with the reward system, but they do come with one particular benefit. They help you quickly identify that orders are considered high paying, meaning they have at least a 2 to 1 dollars to mile ratio on order value, which does not guarantee that there's a hidden tip, but it helps you skip a step when calculating if an order is closer to the range where there would be one. And if there is a plus sign, which if you do see it, that means there is definitely a hidden tip, and they're outright telling you that. But like I said, that sometimes shows up and sometimes does not. And almost every time I take an order, let's say $6.25, they are hiding a dollar or a dime or a little bit of money, not enough for me to say, well, I guess that was worth it. Or if they are hiding more than that, the order already presented itself with a high enough value on the surface to begin with, which again, the point is moot. Sometimes I did end up where the order value doubled, but that was not as often as they let on, which means they are either only adding it when they need to sell me on an order, or this isn't as relevant as it once was. Peak pay and hidden tips. One thing that hasn't changed from back in the day is how promos change the way a driver interacts with the way the hidden tip ratios are calculated. Even just a dollar extra throws off the ratio by a lot. Peak pay is when they add a certain amount of money onto every order, which is great because it could lead to more money for drivers, but don't let that fool you if you are looking to reveal more of a hidden tip on orders. For example, if an order is shown for $7.50 for 3 miles and then there is an active $1 peak pay, that may seem like there would be a hidden tip because of the ratio, but remember, DoorDash hides tips, not promo pay or base pay. So what would have normally been a $2.50 base pay and at least a $4 tip, adding that extra dollar threw off the math. Because without the dollar, it would have been $6.50 for a 3-mile drive, and it would have been more obvious that the order didn't have a hidden tip. That said, if you are planning on making that calculation consistently, I would recommending subtracting the value of the peak pay before calculating. Also, remember that peak pay is icing on the cake and not the cake itself. Best practices for hidden tips. Now that we understand how hidden tips actually work, let's talk about how to actually use this information to our advantage. First and foremost, never accept a bad order simply because you think there might be a hidden tip. Hidden tips should be treated as a bonus and not the reason that you accepted the order in the first place. If you would have accepted it at face value, stick with that. Unless it specifically has the plus sign, then okay, all bets are off. Second, focus on the value shown on the screen. If the order makes sense based on the display payout, mileage, and your own general standards, then sure, it's worth considering. If it only makes sense if there is a hidden tip, it's probably not as worth gambling on as you give it credit for. And third, remember that peak pay can distort the calculations in general. If you're trying to estimate if an order may contain a hidden tip without actually using the plus sign, subtract the peak pay amount before evaluating the ratio. Fourth, learn how to identify these patterns for yourself before relying on any kind of third-party apps. Tools can be useful, but understanding the system directly will make you a better driver regardless of the tools available tomorrow. And finally, don't become obsessed with hidden tips. While they can be nice when they happen, your overall earnings will be determined far more by market selection, scheduling, multi-apping, and good decision-making rather than chasing hidden tip orders. Apps that can assist. I don't think you need to have an app assist you, and some apps kind of have come and gone. But one app that I remember hearing about is GigU, and it's available on Android. But what they do is that they read the screen and tell you whether an order is worth taking or not, or if you should just decline. That's not how Para used to work, and that's also why it can only be done on Android. But that said, I am an iPhone user, so I have no firsthand experience with that particular app. Feel free to give it a shot to see if it works for you. I also know that Gary Middleton was also working on something similar, but I don't know much about that personally. However, I would recommend learning how to calculate it on your own before relying on tools to help you. That's my opinion. I'm more of a skill learner rather than a dependent on tools kind of person. No longer as fun. I'm going to speak of my own opinion for a second. One of the things that I have noticed is that it's no longer as fun to find hidden tips on DoorDash as it used to be. I know that's not the greatest terminology for this, but DoorDash used to be known as Tony's Casino because there was a chance that an order would have more money than they initially thought. And it was a stupid gamification of the system, and a lot of people disliked it. Again, these are people's livelihoods, it's not a game. However, it no longer feels like the same dopamine rush that it used to be to get a hidden tip on an order, or to find that really good good order. At least it's not anymore from my experience. Because if you know that you're going into an order that had a hidden tip in the first place, it's not that you guessed, then you were right. It's that they told you. So when they tell you there's a hidden tip, it's less like a discovery. It's more like a setup for disappointment because you realize they were only hiding a dime or 50 cents or something like that. And that plus sign raised the value of the order more than the dime would have on its own. Like, I'm not sure if I like it more than what it was or if I like this new setup better, but either way, it is what it is. Still not as good as multi-apping. Look, no matter how many tips and tricks I could tell you about hidden tips on Doordash and how maybe helpful they really are, they will never be as good as multi-apping and having multiple sources and streams of income. Sure, getting back on Doordash was great for me. I still have Uber Eats and Grubhub for food delivery orders, and I could also receive orders on Walmart, Spark, Instacart, and Shipt if I would like to earn more on shopping orders. And for catering orders, I have Zifty, Skipcart, Deliver That, and more. And you could also sign up for Expedite and many other RMDA catering opportunities. And speaking of transparency, hidden tips are not the only area where drivers have questioned whether or not they're receiving the full value of an order. One concern that has existed for years in the catering space involves tip transparency on certain ezCater orders from certain ezCater companies. So if you're running catering deliveries, it's important to verify if you received the amount that was actually intended for the driver. So make sure you're getting the full value of the catering orders you conduct by using our ezCater tip verification form. If a company is a member of our internal governance and transparency program, we can work with them directly and make sure that you got all of your money and no one is getting funny with the numbers. And if not, we compile this information and send them to the proper authorities for investigation. The tool is free to use and it's available on our website. And also, don't forget to develop an exit strategy. Remember, the gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal, not the goal. And whether that means investing in the markets, a business, real estate, or otherwise, make sure your money makes you more money so you don't find yourself working forever because you don't have a choice. Final thoughts. As I've been driving on Doordash, I've noticed that hidden tips are fun to get for sure, but it is more important that the system is a bit more clear. Again, at the moment, the app seems to be part of my gig portfolio and not the pillar app it used to be. So remember to understand the system to the best of your ability, diversify your gig portfolio accordingly, and treat the gig economy as an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal and not simply the goal. No one is going to look out for your financial stability better than you are. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, check out my website, drivenwyld.com, if you'd like to learn some more about the services and gig platforms we have talked about in the past and are offering to gig workers today. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Rise up, shake off that 9 to 5 rust. In this wild world of